I worked in a place there where you struggle to be mediocre every single day. Every single fucking day.
Everybody's a specimen.
And every day you're there, you may have one success, what you measure as success, but you start to lose sight of like who you are, and how capable of a person that you really are.
Yeah.
So that's where I say,
because you think of yourself as part of that unit.
You have nothing to measure off of it, and it's such a performance related place.
It's such an excellent
where you the constant pursuit of excellence, right? Mm. Like it's perfect practice makes permanent. Mm. Right.
But
like,
you can lose yourself in that.
You absolutely lose yourself, man. Like it's from and it isn't just that place. It's all these like high performing organizations and teams.
Yep.
Like that's where I tell people there's a shelf life, and it's in law enforcement too. Like there's a shelf life, and then the trauma aspects of everything. Everything I did would kill me, whether it was training or in real life, or gunshots, or like some sort of infill technique. Like everything was so high risk, right? That becomes, I can't feel for a period of my life. I just couldn't feel unless I'm doing something that's relatively that's why I started drinking and drugging.
I get it.
Because it was like, fuck, dude, I can't ever get to that space anymore. And I don't feel a fucking thing.
Yeah, chasing the dragon.
Yeah,
there's
exactly.
no way to get it.
You get addicted to the juice, and then you have to keep upping the ante. Kind of danger.
Yeah. I mean, well, I think with alcohol, it's one of those things where
I'm not talking about alcohol as the juice. I'm talking about the adrenaline.
Oh, yeah.
The danger that you have to feel, because you were talking about you
don't even realize it though, but yes, like I would never have considered myself an adrenaline junkie, because you feel like the stereotypical adrenaline junkie. You're like, oh yeah, that person. It's just such a normalized way of living, like in acting, and then that starts to just become who you are outside of that place, and there is no line.
Yeah, that's your
so
norm.
Then your family, like I couldn't find joy, and even like and patience. Like I would just be like, what the fuck? They don't know how hard it could be.
Yeah.
And that stems from how I was raised too, but they shouldn't. Fuck that. Why should they ever have to feel why?
Thank God they don't.
Like, thank God they don't. Like, why, what way am I thinking when I'm like, man, they don't know how hard it could be. Why are they complaining?
But don't you have to be that way? And that's the burden you carry, right?
No,
like
you don't have to be that way. I think there's an element of level. That place consumes. Working at those levels will consume you, but I firmly believe this, and I will say this with confidence: the guys and gals that have a deep foundation in faith, in something bigger than themselves, God, come out of that place. Okay, I was not that way, and I almost lost everything, to include my own life. The only reason that I'm still here, and I'll say this. I talked about it in the Sean Ryan show, but I'll be even more specific. The only reason that I'm still here is because God gave me my youngest daughter when he knew what I was about to endure, and he gave my youngest daughter to me at a time that was already like starting to kind of unravel my marital conflict and my relationship with my children, and my prioritization was fucked. And it started back in 2014, 2015, but she was born in 2015, and the Molly happened November 20th, 2015. And I truly believe, because
she was born after that?
What's that?
She was born after
She was born in January. Mm-hmm. So that year, so before. But coming back, I moved out. I left my wife. I was in a relationship with a female from the CIA, and you know, I looked at my youngest daughter, and she needed me. She looked at me with this innocence, and I still felt like I was needed.
Hell yeah.
Because like my son's here. That's why I'm pointing over that way. But I failed them, and I my own insecurities, my own lack of self realization or belief in my own systems, self-esteem, right? Like I pushed further away from them.
But you weren't given the tools to deal with this. That's the other thing. Like, you look at the divorce rates of guys in the special forces, it's through the roof.
Yeah.
And so you're not equipped with a set of skills to deal with this trauma. Like, who are you talking, when you get done, who are you talking to?
Well, that's the
you talking
thing.
To other guys like you?
Well,
good luck.
So that's the thing too, is like that planning process, that preparation of preparing our mind, body, and spirit for violence through planning and contingencies, rehearsals. We don't even know that's actually what it's doing. It's putting on our armor, like metaphorically, you know, and then we physically put it on.
Yeah.
But then we go and do all these crazy things. Come back though, and what's the first thing we do when we get back?
Drink?
We fucking no, not yet. Well, maybe hot wash. So AAR, after actions review, or we sit down in a group like this, and we air our grievances, and no one leaves that fucking room until you've said your piece. And if you didn't say your piece in this forum, you are a fucking bitch. If you don't, if you feel the need to say something beyond this room,
Which is part of the decompressing, part of keeping
exactly. This is
no
grieving
lies.
process. That from flash to bang, like that's I've realized this after the fact, mind you. But that whole process, I wasn't afforded that either side of it.
So if you're
with the Radisson,
you can't have,
they never train you to when you're. I went back to the embassy like 2 days later in Mali, and this dude, this grown ass man, comes up to me, starts crying, and asks me if he can hug me.
wow.
And I was like, "Who the fuck are you?" And I didn't say that, but I was like, but he only recognized my tattoos because I had just a T-shirt on with Kit and stuff. And he was in such I don't remember him specifically, but
Was he military?
No, he was just he was trapped in the hotel, American. He was a government employee or contractor or something. But he said, "Hey, I just recognized your tattoos," and he just broke down because when I was carrying him out, he had his head down and all he could see
all
was
he
my
remembers,
arm. Yeah. So
That's hero
like
shit,
they don't
bro.
train. Well, they don't train you.
hero shit.
They don't train you like typically. It's that same shit you think of where it's like fucking boom, go do some gnarly shit, get on the plane, helicopter, go
robot.
back,
You're
and
not a robot.
high fives and cocktails, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then I stayed over there, just fucking unraveling because everybody else, like there was another. Everything was like, oh, is this another attack? You know, and they would look at me and they'd be like, oh, well, it's cool. We'll just link up at Kyle's and he'll figure it out. He's got this.
Jesus.
And I just stayed over there, and you know, to be honest, like I was like, sure, because at that point, like
Well,
mind
you know,
you, like
guys-
I've learned so much and I've grown so much since then too, and I really do feel like I endured all of those things because of what I'm doing with it now.
We don't know how to
and
deal.
how I'm
We don't know how to
delivering
deal
that.
with this. So that's why it's so important to talk about this because you know, like I had a hard time the other day, and we're real close, he and I fucking texted him, and he doesn't know how to deal with that, and I'm the same way. You know what he said? He goes, "Dude, I get it, but you got to snap out of it. Come on, we got." And then he like me. This is how we deal with it. We go, "Yeah, it sucks. We got work to do, bro. We got let's
Especially
get,
during that time. Like there's a time
when
to
we're
feel
in
sorry
crisis,
for yourself, and that
fuck
we have to
that.
get to work.
And I was saying, and I'm like, yeah, you're right. What the fuck am I doing? I'm a bitch. And I was laughing so hard because I was like, you're a great therapist, dude. Thanks for that. But you're not going to
any
find it
great
in your buddy.
therapist, what do? They don't tell you how to solve your problem.
No.
Right.
They
They
give you a
listen.
place. You've created a platform for people to come and share.
Yeah.
And then internally or in a relationship, like you surround yourselves with people that you look up to, you respect and admire, and then let them be that mirror, ironing, sharpening iron.
Yep.
Right. Like that.
So can
That
I
proverb is like,
From-
fuck. I didn't understand what that meant. Kyle Lamb is a mentor. He's a former unit guy too, but back in like Mogadishu, and he retired in like early 2000s. He has a company, Viking Tactics and VTAC. He makes these really great slings. Phenomenal trainer. But before any of that, like he was a spiritual mentor for me. He said things to me at a time where I was like, what? Like, try your best to love everyone? I was like, the fuck does that mean? Like, literally, what does that mean? And
It's the most powerful thing ever. That's a Christian
and then
idea.
iron and sharpen iron. And I was like, nah, like you need like some sort of harder metal to sharpen the softer. Like, I don't get that. Like but to, you know, now I am ready to receive those things. So I am damn sure going to share those things that have impacted me. And that's why I say, like, with each other, you know, sometimes it just takes like, this is like a marital thing too. Like that maybe they just want to vent, you know?
Correct.
And trying to solve everyone's problems. Like, why don't you just listen?